Hello, what's up, traders? It's Dwayne of GW Pro, and I'm back with another live trade setup. All right, so it's New York session, and I want to be sharing with you also the setups I had from my pre-market session and also the London session, which I set up about 3 hours ago or 4 hours ago on this channel. All right, so if you're new to this channel, I recommend that you subscribe and also smash on the notification bell so you'll be getting information whenever I post content such as this one. All right, I want to share with you the Euro USD, all right, for a start, and I'm going to share with you other setups which I also have. I think the Feds have been able to set up and they've actually ended up landing the USD into a big shit. All right, so you can also see some explosion coming in the market and they're not able to contend what the investors are doing. All right, so they thought that they could be able to manage and then reduce whatever is happening or whatever the investors or the large money are actually doing, but there are so much risk on right now. All right, so there's so much risk on. They want to put more money on the risky assets. You look at the AUD, the NZD, the euro, the pound. All right, so that's where all the money is going to, and you can also see it reflect on the S&P as well. All right, so you can also see that reflect on the S&P after the Fed successfully raised the debt ceiling. All right, so what is also going on right now, and we can see that there's major move that after coming into the market and without any C's. All right, so without any C's, and that is also playing out nicely. So I'm going to be sharing with you this one. All right, so I gave out previous analysis on the euro card and also the pound card. Okay, so this one I'm going to be set up with you guys on how I intend to approach this one. All right, so I also have it that Euro USD also making series of higher highs, higher lows. All right, from this low here that was created far back in on the 12th of October. All right, so since then we've had price create higher highs, higher lows. So we've seen that price have then moved into this territory here. Originally, what I thought was I was looking at this to be my X leg. All right, so when price came into this zone and showed some bit of correction here, I knew that I was wrong with the analysis, and what I wanted to see was a breakout. Even when this breakout came in, I spoke about this also in the London session that I didn't take this trade because I was so busy attending to some other trade setup. All right, so for this one here, we're going to be set up nicely and we're going to take this trade. All right, so here in the New York session, I'm going to be putting up everything for you guys so you guys can be ready as well to take this trade with me. That is the more reason why you need to subscribe to this channel so that you will get every notification whenever I post this kind of content. All right. So for this one here, you can also see that the USD have actually landed itself in the deep shit. But apart from that, it also landed itself in the deep shit, but not against the JPY. All right, so we've seen JPY having to be the weakest across all the P's. All right, that's because JPY is actually the safe haven asset. All right, so it's more of a safety asset, and no one wants it right now. So everyone is actually selling the JPY, the yen right now because no one wants safety. And what everybody's doing right now is they want to take the risk, they want to make all the money in the market, and that's why they're taking all the risk. All right, so but I'm still staying on glued to this one. All right, so if we could have price drop below this point here, and I'll be looking to take a little retracement, all right, with this one back into the support. All right, so the support of this channel here will be a good spot to take a trade, all right, back if price actually does retrace. All right, so but one of the things I'm going to do, I'm not just going to take it on a pending buy stop. I'm going to wait for price to give me one of the valid entry for that as well. So I'm going to be looking at this setup here, that having price correct here, whenever price corrects here, all right, you're going to wait for a breakout. All right, so once you wait for a breakout, I'm going to come back with a video on also examples of this kind of setup. So once you see them in the market, you know how you're going to set up and you know how you're going to plan your trade. All right, so once price comes up back into that structure, what you're going to wait to do is going to wait, because this was the last support. You want to wait for price to come back, test that support, and then on a return of that support, you're going to put a pending sell stop. All right, so once price drop below that point, your stop loss is going to be up here, and whatever happens, you're going to expect that price is going to go down from that point on, because whatever should happen, price should respect a structure like this and never come back. All right, so most of the time I speak about that triangles happen at the end or at the fourth wave towards the fifth wave. So you can be looking at this as the end of the wave. All right, so you could be looking at this. So whenever you see this kind of setup, you wait for price to either break through it, and then a retracement could be the best time you put your spending entry. All right, so in this case, we're going to use a pending sell stop once price does this. All right, So back to the Euro USD. What I want to do with the Euro USD, I want to put a pending buy stop bid on the Euro USD. All right, so I'm just going to I'll go ahead and put this live session and this live account. As you can see, this is Live Forex ECN. All right, so I'm going to put up a pending buy stop here. So I'm going to wait for anything that could break the structure. All right, so what I have currently now I'm working towards is I'm looking at two scenarios. All right, so if the market would give me a valid entry, so if this is my A, this is my B, and this is my C. But I see more of an expansion rather than a strong impulsive move right now from this one. So we could be looking for an A, B, C. So if I'm taking this as a D leg, which means I'm going to have to leave the market early. All right, I'm going to have to leave early. I'm not going to have to wait longer. I'm going to have to leave early, so I will not be caught in the crossfire. All right, so I'm going to have to leave early around the 1.167 as I earlier stated also in the London session earlier today. So I'm going to put up a pending buy stop here, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a pending buy stop, and I'm going to put up a small position. I'm going to put two of those positions there. So I'm going to put my stop loss below the previous low, and then let me see if that works. All right, so I spent a lot of time in the morning having to speak about this one and also analyze this one as well. So I'm coming back on New York session to give it as a live trade. So I'm going to put my TP. Okay, so what's that? All right, so buy stop. Okay. All right, so this is gonna be my TP1. All right, so let me just go one time frame higher. This is gonna be my TP1, and you want to target TP2 instead of the D leg. All right, because if you're looking at this, if I'm gonna go down to count the wave count for this one, you're gonna see that this is where you want to take your final take profit. All right, so I'm gonna just adjust this a little bit so that I will not be caught there. So I'm gonna put it there. So anything that could create or cause price to break this territory, I want to see price come here. All right, because this is previous structure. Let me just go ahead and then show you guys also. This was previous structure in the market, and price having respected that previously. You can see that when price came into that zone, we can see that price stalled kind of around that territory there. So I'm looking at price to be back into that zone. All right, so if that is not good enough for a trade for you, you can be looking at taking a position, or you can be looking to wait. All right, you can be also looking to wait as well. If you are a conservative trader, you can be looking to wait, because definitely you can expect that this is an A, B, and then C. This could be a D. All right, so you can be looking for an E. Sometimes we could have an E extend upside more than what we could expect. All right, but however, I think if you are taking a trade on this one, you would want to stay in the shadows of the trend line. All right, so we could draw that trend line and we could stay in that shadow. All right, so that's what we want to be doing. We could stay in under the radar, all right, with that one. All right, but I don't think that would be one of the best entries. All right, I don't think that would be one of the best trades. So if I'm looking to take a trade for this one, it's not going to be one of the best trades. Rather, I think also we could also wait for this to complete. All right, and then create. But however, this is going to still be a good trade. All right, this is still going to be a good trade, because definitely if you have a stop loss somewhere below here, I think expansion should also take a while. All right, before it then expands into a bigger A and then a bigger B. All right, so it's all your choice of what you want to do. You can actually capture a small position here, because definitely the wave or the strength, also looking at the DXY, which I spoke about in the morning, is also weighing in on the market as well. So you can see that the DXY, the strength also is wearing in the market as well, and that is also playing its own part also in the market. All right, so you can see that also the DXY here for this one here is also very bearish. Okay, so we can see that, and also I spoke about that unless price would break through this structure here, that is the only time we will get bullish and then expect price to come right here. So at the moment, what we are seeing here is a little bit of zigzag, and we can expect that at the break of this point here, price is still going to continue downward. But all right, so you don't want to see price bounce here, right? You don't want to see price bounce here and then make a reversal. That's going to be crazy, all right, because that's going to send all those other pays down. All right, so you're going to be cautious with this and avoid taking crazy trades. All right, that's what I want to do on daily occasions, avoid taking daily trades. So I'm going to put my pending order there, and I'm going to wait. I'm going to sit and then wait for price to trigger it. I'm going to take first profit here if that should be the case. All right, so that's going to put me on the front foot also to be making that cool cash. All right, so next I'm going to be showing you is the USD CAD. All right, so after the news release there, we also see major weakness coming in on the CAD, and so far we have seen that the USD CAD is also setting up nicely, and it could want to test previous structure, having consolidated here and also broke through this point here. This was a whole channel that could have created an A, B, C, D, and then E. All right, so this was what I expected to see, and then price to drop, move from that point upside. All right, but whatever is happening now is an A, B, C, all right, which then extend down here, and then this is D, and then this is E. All right, so that's what's going on with that one. So I expect also, if this is the completion, I expect price to give a valid entry here. So I'm going to be taking a look at this one also, so you can also have that at on your chart, and then also look at it, because at the moment we are seeing what could be a structure here. So, but however, I will not be taking any trade with this one unless we have price break aggressively. So I'm going to be putting up a pending buy stop somewhere up there. All right, unless we have price break aggressively to the upside, and then we're going to go take some positions. Okay, so we'll have to wait for price to make a move aggressively. So once that happened, aggressive move right from that point on, then we could then target that point there. All right, so let me go see if that's going to be a good enough for a trade. All right, it's not going to be a good enough for a trade, because if you're looking at putting up your buy stop here, you're going to put in your stop loss 38 pips, and you're going to put in up your target at 29 pips. All right, so trading is a game of probability, and you want to take trades when the odds are actually in your favor. So we cannot be taking any buy trade with anything with the USD. All right, but we want to be looking for short opportunities. All right, so if that's going to play out nicely, we're going to wait for price to then complete the pattern of the A, B, and then C. Once that completes, we're going to look to continue doing whatever price was doing originally. All right, that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, so we just look at a little bit of the gold. Okay, so gold, I spoke about gold in the morning, that what I want to see was for gold to give me a valid entry. As you can see nicely, gold is actually setting up nicely for that valid entry as well, having gone in here during the Asian session, and we've seen price move up to this point. So whatever I spoke about gold, you're going to go back to the pre-market, and then you're going to see that I spoke about that gold is supposed to form what we look at an AB. So if this is then a C, whatever is happening here is an ABC for an A. All right, so we're looking at A, B, C. A little bit of correction inside of here will set up gold nicely for the next run, as this will now be A, B, and then C. So that's what I expect to see. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be waiting for gold to slide a little bit down here. I'm going to put in up a pending buy stop somewhere up there, and stop loss below that level there, and I'm going to see that that is going to be triggered, and that's going to ride gold up there with me. All right, so that's what I'm going to be doing with the gold, that one. All right, so you want to remember this. All right, let me just go ahead and put that up. So we also have here with gold, this is, let me just go back, show you. We also have regional that we want to see gold test the wave B. All right, we are not lost on that analysis, so we are still game with that analysis that gold should test the B and somewhere a little bit higher before then dropping back down. Okay, so you can go back to my previous video and then watch out what I spoke about with the gold. All right, so this one here, what currently gold is doing, whatever we're seeing gold doing, is some sort of structure like this. All right, so we're seeing A. All right, so gold dropped A, B, C for a B. Gold then moved up, all right, for a C. All right, then drop back down. So we're looking at working out a D. All right, so if this is now a D, we're looking at gold doing an A, B, C for a D. Impulse correction, we want to see the next one. So we want to see more of another drop here. We want to see more of another correction there, all right, to complete the pattern. Initially, we're also looking at two things. So, but however, we're looking at all scenarios with this one. We're looking at, I'm looking at either way, or that either we have a correction here for an ABC, all right, for an ABC. Let me just go put that up. So either way, either we have an ABC up for an A, ABC up for a B. So we want to see a C down there. So either way, we want to see a drop down. No matter how small, no matter how thin, I want to see a drop. No matter how thin, even up to this point here, I want to see a drop. All right, I want to see a drop. irrespective of what retracement levels we're going to be looking at, but I want to see a drop. It could be a shallow one up to the 38.2. It could be a strong one up to the 61.8. It could also be up to 50%. It can also be up to the 78.6 as well. It doesn't really matter, right? Even up to the 88.8 doesn't really matter, but what I want to see is a bit of correction. Then I could be set up for the next push for the gold to the upside. All right, so also I spoke about the USD Mexican peso, that the USD Mexican peso is already poised to continue to the downside to complete the pattern. Remember also, if you've not remember what I said, you can also go back to my 4 weeks back pre-market update. You can go watch this one out. I'm also set up here and I put up a pending sell stop, but yet I'm yet to be triggered. So I'm expecting that if there could be some sort of wave that could push this into this territory, then I could expect to write that down. Okay, and however, what I expect to see that having formed an A, so A, B, C is now created. We've created a B somewhere down there, right, somewhere up there. So you can see nicely somewhere up there is when we've created a B leg upward. So I'm expecting price to drop below, irrespective of how small the drop is going to be, but I'm expecting a drop. So when the drop comes in, I'm going to wait for an expansion, then I'm going to wait for another drop. All right, I'm going to wait for another drop down there. That's going to complete the pattern for an A, B, C. Then we can look for a bullish continuation for the USD Mexican peso or a reversal for the USD Mexican peso. So you need to wait for that one. You need to stay glued on the chart and then you wait. That's how I'm going to set up, because this is also similar to the analysis which I spoke about far back as at 2019 when we also captured this move ahead of. I didn't really know that COVID was coming, but I was also set up waiting to take this trade, and that was when the wind came, took us with the COVID, and then we rallied up to 2,000 pips with this one. All right, so this was also awesome because we wanted to capture the 127 Fibonacci extension of that one. So I actually captured 2,000 pips with the USD Mexican peso having set up nicely. So you want to wait for price to complete the C leg, then you can start looking for some bit of correction or a zigzag or any sort of setup right there to complete the pattern. So once that happens, that is the only time I'm going to be looking for entry. So we can wait for price to correct of some sort, be it a zigzag, be it whatever structure, but I want to see some drop below this previous point and even below the previous A leg. Then we can be looking for, then bullish opportunities can actually come in there. Right, so next we look at the USD ZAR. Okay, so the USD ZAR is also set up nicely. We also have it that we have our wave 1 right up there, so we could work in an ABC for a wave 2. All right, so that's what we're doing. We're just gonna have to wait for everything to happen. Remember, initially what I was waiting for, I was waiting for a C leg. All right, so I was waiting for a C leg of this one. All right, so I was looking for an A, B. All right, I was waiting for a C leg. So you can see that the extension which I was waiting for a C leg have gone even beyond what I was expecting. So I didn't take a trade as a result. That is what I keep saying about trading, that you want to see confirmations. You want to see the market commit to you before you can then commit to the market. So we didn't take any trade as to this effect, so we didn't lose any money, but we didn't take a bearish trade, neither did we take a bullish trade, but we're waiting for price to set up nicely, and I was looking for previous structures and then confirmations. In all those times I didn't find any, so we didn't take any trade and we didn't lose any money. We didn't make any money either. All right, so with that I wrap up the session and see you tomorrow. I'm going to be back in London session. All right, so I'm going to be making that video much earlier in the Asian session. About the London session, I'm going to set up with you guys on how I'm going to set up for the London session, and soon I'm going to be live on London session, so to be sharing with you all these setups. All right, so see you next time. Subscribe and also turn on the notification bell on this channel so you'll be getting informations whenever I post this kind of content. I love you all and remain blessed.